Hey, it's me, Unapologetically T, and it's probably been a minute since I've uploaded, or it's felt like a minute. And I don't have my glasses. I left them in the house, but I've been in the house multiple times, so I'm not going back in there. And I can see close up, so we're good. Um, but yeah, it's been a minute since I've uploaded, or it feels like that to me. So yeah, I don't know. It's like riding a bike, but you be a little rusty. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. Like, can't you just see by the face? Like, can't you see the glow? Like, I can see the glow. Like, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have rough days. Like I always tell y'all. I do have rough days. However, my God, our God is a powerful God, is a mighty God. And if you believe in Him, I don't like to say Him because my ideology of God is not just masculine or feminine. God is like this ultimate source, maybe like this combining factor of, like masculine, because it's like this perception that like everybody think like, oh well, God is a woman, and then everybody like God is a man, and then I'm like, in order for God to be God and be balanced, God had to have a union. God has to be like both. So and we all are both, like, contrary to what you're taught. It's a little chilly, so I'm gonna just do this. Don't mad me. But it reminds me of Beavis and Butthead. I am Cornholio. I watched a lot of shit that I wasn't supposed to be watching when I was little. Yeah, something on my phone disconnected the video. However, we're gonna continue. So yeah, I watched a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have been watching, but my parents did not monitor what we could or could not watch. So kudos to them though, because I needed it. And like, certain paths we have is the paths we're supposed to have, and it's about coming to terms with that and having acceptance. When I think about the traumatic stuff that happened, I think that yes, what happened, and it was supposed to happen because it happened, but in not all cases is things supposed to happen. God does give human beings free will, and predatorial human beings who prey on those that they look at as weaker than them, or that they think they can take advantage of. Your day is coming, and I'm very happy saying that. Like, you thought you were getting away with mistreating someone that was weaker than you in any capacity. It could have been age, it could have been intellect, it could have been anything, but you took advantage. You did damage. And I can smile about that. So for me, it's acceptance. For me, I did a poem. It's not even a poem, but it's like a short poetic story. What do they used to call those? But theirs used to be really long though. I don't know. I can't. It's slipping me right now, but I'm not gonna focus on that. Good gosh, like everything's coming through, interrupting my thoughts. Sorry, these notifications are getting me. But all right, so what I was about to say. Look at this sun. Hey, sun. Like, I think when you get to a point in life where like you really can have gratitude for things like the sun, things like the birds, and why are you in my face like this? Like, you see how he's shining on me like that? Like, leave me alone, sir. Leave me alone. For the people who think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you're just not on this wavelength. So, I hope one day you get there. But this content isn't meant for you. For the people who understand, you gotta love that sun. I love the moon too. I feel like me and her are one and the same. So, but yeah, I didn't really have any direction when I decided to make a video today. I just wanted to make a video. Today I am trying, this is what I wanted to say too. Previously I said I was a spiritual advisor. I really am. However, I've done it all my freaking life, and I do still have my business up and running, and I will be soon looking for someone to run my business. So if there's anyone who is genuine at heart, and I would say you're more into light working, and you can mix it and make it your own. You can do light work, shadow work, all that stuff. So but I'm looking for someone trustworthy and of God, or you believe in something. But I'll probably be trying to do like virtual interviews, probably maybe in the next month or so. Yeah, so I am looking for someone who can run my business. I would love that for you, for me. Yeah, period, point blank. And maybe about hiring some employees. Like, I would have to train you with some basic stuff, but I'm the type of person that kind of gives other people freedom to do them. But basic core customer service, the way I would want, you to present yourself, without changing who you are, because I don't believe in that. But yeah, for me, the customer is not always right. Just wanted to let you know. However, our goal is to aim for customer appreciation. However, we are not people pleasing over at my business, not at Humble Beginners. So yeah, so I will be doing that. I love that for me. Like, I love a lot for me. All right, so I also have been focused more on creating. I feel like I'm my happiest when I'm able to create. I'm my happiest when I'm able to travel and actually see stuff. Whoever needs to see that needs to see that. But yes, I'm the happiest when I get to travel and I get to play and I get to do stuff and I get to be me. I know you've seen a lot of smiley faces or sad tears or whatever. You might have even seen anger on here, but like, the people that know me know that there's a part of me that's a little off-centered. I would say that, a little off-centered, and it only comes out when you wrong me. So I've been working back on that girl, like that part of me, and that part of me was tired of checking people. That part of me was tired of hurting people. But that part of me has been going through deep healing, and I have a deep trust for that part. If that part has to show up and show out, go for it. That means you called it out. So, and I trust that, I have a good enough support system that'll be like, no, you're going too far. You're going too far. And I've actually had situations like that happen. There is a story in my youth where I got a weapon pulled out on me, and it wasn't a knife. And I basically stared through the barrel and was ready to risk it all just to whoop somebody's ass. And I held on to that I held a grudge for that for a long time. For a very long time, but I was able to make amends. I wouldn't even say make amends, because it wasn't my amends to make, and it actually wasn't completely her amends to make either. And I think maybe after I finish this video, I'll go into story time about the day I basically stirred my life, stirred in my life through a hole. Time slowed the fuck down on that one. So yeah. But I'm definitely, I could say, like, in the past, I was definitely hot-headed, like, short fuse. Something's wrong with that girl. But, and then there was some people who thought I was a punk. And they thought I was a punk because, what? I didn't even care to address your bullshit. Like, but now, it's like, you gonna know you wronged me. And I ain't gotta lift a finger. But you wanna fuck around and find out? Okay. God's watching. And my favorite saying now is, may God not have mercy on your soul. Like, you could call me evil, you can call me whatever you want, but it is not fucking all love and light over here. The shadow that I have is the shadow that has protected me from a childhood when I couldn't protect myself. So I give big ups to my shadow. I love my shadow. My shadow loves me. My shadow has new friends to play with, like, that I've acquired over the years, like. So yeah, my shadow don't play about me. I done earned the respect of my shadow and other people's shadows. So find you somewhere else safe to play. If you're one of the people who have ill will towards me, usually I don't address you, but I felt like it's time enough to. In my most soft, elegant way I can. And yes, I make up words and I don't care. I code switch. I code switch because my mama used to get on that goddamn phone when I was a little kid and put her white voice on. I code switch because I was told that in order to fit in society, I couldn't sound like I was a slave. I code switch because when I went to college, all my nigga friends wanted to check me and make sure I spoke proper English, and I don't. But I do now. But I don't prefer it. I prefer my regular ass talk. Sometimes it's mixed with sophistication. Sometimes it's ghetto. Sometimes I make up words. Like, one of my favorite words that is not a word, which I'm surprised is not a word, ma'am. You can lay in your bed next to me, but what you're not going to do, you're not going to make me pick you up and hold you. I'm tired of y'all. You need to lay down in your bed. I brought your bed out here so you could be comfortable. Lay down. And I brought you a blanket. Lay down. I'm not picking you up. You spoiled rotten and you need to lay down. Thank you. Or you can go in the house and then you're going to cry because I'm out here. So lay down. And I'm not rubbing you. And one more cry, you going in the house. You going in the house? You ready to go in the house? Hold on a second because I don't have time for games. Alright, I'm back. My dog is more of a child than my child is. Yeah, she worse. She thinks she the baby. And I be like, you know, Charlotte's the baby. She be like, but I did used to like hold her like she was a baby all the time and tell her like she was mama's baby. So I guess she thinks, you know, that I have to do that all the time. Like, anytime I'm doing something else, like, she wants my attention. I'm tired of it. Anyway, but she's gone. Right in the house. That's where she earned her ticket at. But yeah, like, I think right now, I'm focused more on doing what makes me feel good. Traveling is definitely one. Like, that is one. If you haven't been on social media checking me out, I got to take a trip to, drum roll, Haiti. And it was a beautiful experience. I don't recommend people going to I guess Port-au-Prince airport if you don't know anyone from there. Like, if you're not connected, I advise you against it. Haiti is very dangerous from gang violence right now. However, Haiti is a fucking beautiful, beautiful hidden gem from America. I don't think everyone knows how beautiful Haiti is, and maybe Haiti don't want everybody to know how beautiful Haiti is, because maybe you'll fucking go over there and try to steal it. Make me think about Paul Mooney. If you're having too much fun, like, they'll try to come and take it. But I don't think Haiti's worried about that, anybody taking anything from them. However, I do feel like I'm a truth teller, and America owes Haiti. America owes Haiti. Every time America has came over to Haiti, America has been a wolf in sheep's clothing, acting like they're there to exist. However, they're always stealing pieces of land. Go figure what they are doing. Yeah, you could just think about what they're doing. Like, what have they done in history? What have they done in history? And France owes Haiti fucking big time. Like, big time too. So yeah, PSA, America, France need to pay up. And when they do pay up and they pay it forward, they definitely need to have conversations with actual born Haitians. Because just like myself, I'm not born from Haiti. However, Haiti is definitely flowing through my blood. I'm a whole gorilla in the zoo, for real. Like, I tell you not, since I was a little kid, I love them fucking gorillas. I'm a gorilla and a whole goddamn beast. And a lot of people don't see it. They see the smile, and it get them fucked up every time. So yeah, I feel like I'm a truth teller, and the truth be told, that when it is time to pay reparations to Haiti, real Haitians, I think children should be in that conversation of what Haiti needs. Adults should be in that conversation of what Haiti needs. The people who have struggled the most in Haiti should be in those conversations what Haiti needs. So there should be this round table. I do not necessarily feel like politicians should be in the conversations necessarily, unless they are politicians who come from struggle. But I think when reparations, and because reparations is like, basically, you can see the word repair in there. You're trying to repair some damage that was done, and you can't do that if you don't listen to the voice of the people. It's just like a friend told me about, people building schools in Africa and like trying to give back to Africa, but rarely do anyone have fucking conversations with the actual citizens to figure out the whole scheme of how things would work. Yeah, Africa needs a school, but did you have a conversation with the people about the route the girls would take to get to the fucking school? I mean, that's just, maybe where we should start. Like, we can do kind gestures all day long, and our plans can get foiled just from not including the real people fully. Because they could definitely tell us, well, this is not gonna work out, because they live there. So yeah, that's my plan and goal and my thoughts and my prayers for Haiti. It was an awesome experience, even though I didn't get to see much. And I could have stayed a little longer. However, I was being called to come the fuck back home. So that's what I did. And I always try to listen to the little voice in my head. At the end of the day, we have free will, so you can do whatever you want to. But yeah, I was called to come back. And however, I'm definitely going back. Thank you to my family over there, that was protective and that fed me. I'm so grateful. I enjoyed everything I ate. The one thing I will say, like, they're big on bread. I'm not a big bread eater. I do not eat bread just to eat bread. Like, I literally eat bread with like sandwiches or something. But I never just eat bread to eat bread. But I definitely get it. You probably eating the bread that's a filler, but me, I'm a light eater, so I do not typically like eating bread just cause. Now, if I'm making a sandwich or, doing something like toast or something. But most of the time, it's like I'm eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich or I'm eating some type of like deli sandwich. But it was cool. The foods, I don't know the names of the foods that I tried, but everything I ate was fucking like good. And it was some things that like my eyes saw and it was like, oh, this might not be appetizing. And then like, but I'm a person who I'll try your food, period. Like if I don't like it, I'm sorry, I don't like it, but I'm gonna try your food regardless. And I liked it all. Oh my gosh, they got some hot sauce over there that they was using. I don't know what it was called. And they speak Haitian Creole, so that was dope. I've heard, Creole from Louisiana, which I feel like is my number one home. But Haiti's right there, like it's neck and neck. I definitely think if I would have saw more parts of Haiti, like I definitely would have been like it's neck and neck. Like I think those two still are lined up as two, and it's probably a reason, right? So yeah, just I'm reconnecting to the roots, and yeah, Louisiana and Haiti are some of my favorite places. No, they are my favorite places out of the different places I've been. But yeah, just reconnected to my roots. Like, we're definitely all from Africa. Not all of us, though. I always want to hint back to Among Us. Spot the imposter. Where's the imposter? But, yeah, this is not about what shade you are. This is about whether your spirit is a fucking dud. And, I feel like the duds, I don't even know what that is. Sound like an airplane, but I've never heard an airplane this close out here. However, no weapon formed against me will prosper. And any weapon formed against me makes me prosper. So, yeah. That was weird though. I've never heard like an airplane this close by. But do your thing. Do your thing. It did make me lose my train of thought, but I'm gonna get it back. Give me 1 second. Oh, the imposters. This is like not about, what shade a brown you is or what shade a pink, a yellow, a red, olive, chocolate, black, whatever you want to call it. It's not about that. We're gonna have to spot the duds. We really gonna have to spot the duds. We all came from Africa. I would suggest you to go back into, before Pangea happened, before the splitting of the earth happened, because that's very, very important, okay? I also would suggest that you think about melanated people being spread all across this earth before things became whitewashed. And that's where it does matter about race, because it started to become whitewashed. Just like I'm Native American, but I can't trace back my lineage currently, and I haven't put forth a lot of effort. However, I do know I'm Native American. And I do love that Native Americans don't recognize blood per se. They focus more, because they knew. They're smart. They focus more on the bloodline, you being able to trace back. Not so bloodline, lineage, but not the actual, the blood testing. So, yeah. I think that's pretty dope, but, I haven't put forth effort in it. I even have some hints to good old George Washington. Like, everybody used to, like, when I was a kid, and even as a teacher, like, he used to be like, your last name is white, but you're black. And I used to be like, in my head, I used to be like, yeah, because of my slave masters. Like, that's all the fuck that meant. But, you know, like, my grandfather, his name was Clyde, and I actually had two grandfathers. It's a weird story. But I would say, like, my biological grandfather, which he did not necessarily raise my mom, but she knew who he was, and I'm not gonna spill the family tea. Fuck it, it's life. Okay, so my grandfather that I acknowledge as my grandfather, because I grew up knowing he was my grandfather, and I carry his last name, so, and it was by marriage, so contractually he's my grandfather. And one thing about him, he always said that all of the kids was his kids, and him and my grandmother was together since she was very young, a teenager. And I'm not talking about her late teens, I'm talking about 12 or 14. So, and he was pretty old, so, compared to her age, but that was normal back then. So, but yeah, and she had 14 kids, and that's 14 that actually survived. She did have a stillborn that was a twin to one of my favorite aunts. God rest her soul. I loved her. And it's weird because the family treated her like she was a black sheep, and I always just tell my mom, like, no, she the smart one. Y'all the dummies. And then I do have another favorite aunt on my mom's side, and she knows who she is. She's just as sweet as she can be, and a lot of her it's actually funny because a lot of things I kind of followed in some of her footsteps, so it's funny, and not even knowing, you know, fully that that's what I was gonna do. So yeah, like, really, really, really funny story. But my grandfather and my mom's biological dad, which is my grandfather as well, but I don't know much about him, we're best friends. You know, I said I was gonna come out here telling the truth. My mom would look at it like I'm shaming the family, and the truth is a fucking truth. Like, we need to stop keeping all these secrets and thinking it's shame. And a lot of y'all done fuck brothers, so just be quiet. I can't say that I have or I have full knowledge of it. That's what I'll say, but a lot of people have, and I have learned throughout this journey and out this life, I can't pass judgment on nobody. Just like one of Dante's tattoos said, only God can judge me, and that's the absolute truth. So I don't feel like I'm shaming my family or any of that, because I feel like a lot of families have these stories and they've swept them underneath the rug, and don't want to shame the family. A lot of pregnancies has happened, and, like, you know, girls went and disappeared for a period of time and came back, and you know, just act like they was gone for 9 months, and their baby are being raised by a family member or someone who was close to the family. And, you know, like, it's a lot of secrets in the family. There's a lot of, you know, incest, which, if you've been paying attention to any of my videos, you know that incest has deep roots from what? Slavery. Incest is not a true culture. Incest happened through slavery. It definitely, we were treated like cattle and bred to breed the strongest slaves. So they really didn't care about bloodlines and all that stuff. However, jokes on them. Okay, let's carry on. But yeah, like, that was that. Like, but my grandfather always claimed all the kids. And now you did have certain siblings who felt like, oh, I came from Clyde and you didn't, that's not really your daddy, you know, that type of shit. And siblings can be harsh, but Yeah, it was a lot of confusion in that storyline, but a lot of people family lineages do, and it be the ones who have the worst shit in their family that be turning their nose up at people. It be the worst, like the people who act holier than thou be having some of the craziest situations, but then you'll turn your nose up at the next person. Like, who the fuck is you? Like, that's why I curse, because cause some of y'all need it. Like, some of y'all do need it. Like, who do you think you are? Oh, you think cause you overcame it? You didn't address what you went through. You overcame it. All you did was step right the fuck over it, and you kept living. But you never really addressed it. That's why when you see other people that remind you of you can't handle it, because it reminds you of that past you ain't deal with. And that's fine. Maybe you should deal with it, maybe you shouldn't. I don't know what to tell you, but this generation, we dealing with this shit, and it's unfair because you call this generation and my daughter's generation and the generation next to that is just gonna be phenomenal. They're gonna be purified and clean. But y'all judge us and think we're the weaker generation, when in all actuality, like, we're the generations that had to feel your shit, our shit, everybody's shit, and you couldn't do it. We had to do it. And yes, you were conditioned not to do it, but we had to do it. So we're not weaker. We're actually feeling what you chose not to feel. And we're actually feeling what we had to go through as well, because your ways were sick and toxic. So that's a little, prelude to the older generation that judges the younger generations. We're not weak. And I don't know where that Bible verse came from. Weaker but wiser. We ain't weak. Our kids ain't weak. We raising kids that are to be seen and heard. You were raised to not be seen or heard. Like, and I ain't picking on you, but I just want you to realize, like, don't call us weak. Don't do that. We're not weak. We're feeling what you don't want to feel. That's another thing too. I have given up most sugar, which is a hard fucking thing for me. This is sugary still. I could have bought the organic kind, but I didn't. And I had to settle for the Great Value one, because I found some bussin' ones from 7-Eleven. But this is dried mango, and it does have a sweetener on it, but I prefer the ones I found at 7-Eleven. However, I would say, like, I haven't been eating, like, a nigga. I had a Hershey chocolate addiction. Reese's. I love Reese's. White ones are my favorite. But I had an addiction. I felt like I ain't feel okay unless I had some chocolate. Like, I mean, I can go, like, days without eating properly. Like, I mean, like, real food. Like, people think because I'm big that, like, I eat real food all the time. Give me that red dye Dorito or the Cool Ranch one, and you can give me some chocolate, and I can survive all that all day. Couple of days. I can go without water for a couple of days. It's a lot of cool things you can realize what your body can do. However, I would say don't do that. Don't do that. I've put my body through some extreme conditions. I kind of lived like a monk at times when I was in Churchill, just to preserve myself. But yeah, the body is amazing. So right now, my body is going through a healing transition, and I'm kind of returning back to how I ate as a child. It's been hard, but as a child, that's one thing you have seen in these videos I give kudos to my mom about, is before she had the relationship with my stepfather, well, the relationship with that man, yeah, there's a story there too. God knows. Um, Before him, we ate really good. Like, I grew up with, she didn't necessarily fix us breakfast every morning. Like, that might be a spotted occasion, if any, because I don't remember breakfast being fixed at all until that man came in our life. And but I do know that, like, she used to make sure we had food in the house. I'll give her that. And she would make sure we had dinner. So, like, she would usually cook us dinner no matter what the fuck she was going through. However, morning through lunch, a bitch had to fend for herself. And I was young. I was not able to use the stove. So bitch, like, really, like, when people be talking about getting it out the mud, like, I grew up eating cold hot dogs when I couldn't figure out, you know, what the fuck I was gonna eat. Cause we had canned stuff and all that, but, like, typically I do not like canned stuff. So I told you I'm a fucking beast. I'm a gorilla. I would take that little cold hot dog and I would go, like, a bitch used to sit in the closet, like, and just eat her food and be at peace. Like, that's why the darkness don't scare me, because I grew up in the darkness. I was the type of child that I grew up, my peace was underneath the bed or in the closet. Like, when I felt unsafe, that's where I would go. That was my safe space. So, but yeah, I grew up eating cold German bologna because I couldn't fry it because I was too young. And so it was just like, okay, well, we're going to eat this cold slab of meat. But one thing, me and my best friend was talking the other day, and like, Spam was something that, like, she grew up eating, and I was like, Spam is one of the things, I don't give a fuck what nobody has done to it. And I've tried Spam so many different ways. Like, I'm glad you not. Like, people have tried to convince me that I was eating it wrong, but that is just one of the things that I do not want to do. I can't. It don't sit right with me. Maybe I need to try it again now. It's been some years, and I don't know. Whoever can convince me that Spam is good, like, you're a real chef. Like, you the real deal. But yeah, I definitely I still, like, we ate, like, for our cereals, like, we did not get sweet and sugary cereals until, like, I think the man started to come around. And because we grew up with Cheerios, but the Cheerios that was not honey. It was just regular Cheerios, and you had to add your own sugar. We grew up with cornflakes, not the frosted. Do not mistake it for the frosted. The rice crispy treats, no sugar, just the Rice Krispie treats. And then, which ones was my favorite, because they already had a little coating of sugar, those wheat things. I get the ones I love the ones that's the strawberry, like, so it's like the pink and the white on it. Or it'd be like pink all the way coating, but it's like, it's not shredded wheats, is it? I don't know, but if anybody know what I'm talking about, it's them little squares, and they had, like, the little coating on it. Those were my favorite because they already had that sugar, and I had to figure out the sugar ratio, because as a child, like, I'd have ruined cereal trying to figure out, like, okay, this bitch is not sweet enough, but then this is too sweet. And then, like, so yeah, we grew up with, I didn't drink sodas until, like, a birthday party. Somebody was having a birthday party. Like, my mom had sodas, but she had, like, Pepsi or ginger ale, and ginger ale was usually used if you had an upset stomach. Pepsi was used if you was dealing with, like, maybe you was backed up. Like, it was used for medicine. And it was not used to just be drinking all day long. And so I remember my first real sugary soda was a pineapple soda. And like, even, like, as a child, like, if she would get us, like, some soda or something like that, it was the sparkling mix. I remember I used to get this, like, peach sparkling, like, soda, so it had the fizz, but it was clear, and it had the peach flavoring in it. So I'm a peach and a pineapple gal when it comes to, like, drinks, flavors. But I remember, like, having this fucking this pineapple soda, and it was, like, so good. Um, but it was at a birthday party. It was not at home. We drank water at home, like water. Like really, we drank water. On a good occasion, maybe somebody from the country would get us some spring water. Spring water is like, to me, the hands down best water ever. Um, However, I have been drinking this brand of water. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to fuck up your brand. So, but if you know, you know. This one is good. I also had this Icelandic water. I think that's what it was called, Icelandic, and that was woo. It was crisp. It was good. Yeah, that was good. I should have saved the bottle or took a picture of it, because that one was good too. But I definitely would say these are one of my favorites if I am going to get bottled water. And the plastic is actually eco-friendly, so kudos to them. They do have a website, and you can actually order it to your home. Look, I'm sponsoring y'all. I should get some money for that. But no, I like to do genuine reviews on stuff that I really do like. But if you do want to send me some free water, because I'm struggling, I'm a broke creator. You should send me some free water, if you feel called to. But yeah, like, we grew up like rice cakes once again. For a snack, like, I used to eat celery with peanut butter and like put little raisins on top to make it look cute. I used to have a box of raisins. I would eat those. We had dates. I mean, my mom made sure we ate fruits. Like, we ate fruits like we was from the islands. Like, I had papaya when I was little. We used to have the little dried banana chips. What else did we used to eat? We had star fruit, passion fruit. I never had dragon fruit when I was little, but I have had it as an adult. Never had pomegranate as a little kid, but had it as an adult. Kiwis, that was my mom's favorite. Kiwis was a little too acidic for me. It would always break out my mouth. Pineapples are very acidic for me too, and would break out my mouth. Like, if I eat stuff like a kiwi or a pineapple, I have to go wash my face immediately. And but still, it'll tear up my mouth, and it's like it's really acidic for me. However, it tastes so good. It tastes so good, and it's good for the body too. So we used to eat like tomatoes, and we would put like a little bit of salt on the tomatoes and eat those. We would do watermelon. My mom loved her watermelon with salt. I love my watermelon just watermelon. I love watermelon. I think watermelon is one of my favorite fruits. Honeydew, one of my favorite fruits. I can't even say favorite fruits because I love most fruits. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have learned, because I used to have like allergic reactions to fruit. I did learn through allergy testing it's not the fruit, it's the pollen. So I have like a very bad allergy to certain tree pollen, and I already knew that. Like, if you know me, I'll be telling y'all like, the tree sperm is out, because that's all pollen is basically the trees are germinating and getting ready for spring, and so to pollinate, the earth. So we're basically the people who are allergic to pollen is allergic to tree sperm. And that's just that. So and it's the truth. Might seem inappropriate, but that's because America has an inappropriate, dirty little mind. And feels good to be out here. Like, why you right here at me though? Like, as long as they can see me on the camera. I think the sun got like a thing for me. I do like my skin to be sun kissed. I don't know, it just make it like look vibrant. And you can send me any downloads you want to send this way. So I love the sun. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we ate pretty good. We ate stuff like dried mangoes. Like, I probably like had an upbringing of a person who was from someone like somewhere like, you know, indigenous cultures. That's what I'm gonna say. So I had a pretty good upbringing far in the beginning. I mean, it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns because my mom was struggling. She had lost her mom and she was going through her own dark night of the soul, and I honestly think I was kind of sent here to help her and this world, like, but to help her to figure it out. And there was some good stuff, and I guess that's what I wanted to focus on today, like the good parts. We ate really well. Yeah, bagels and cream cheese type deal. Lunch, I didn't get like the, you know, like how kids used to have like fruit roll-ups and all those like snacks. Like, we shopped at Community Pride. I don't know if everybody else had Community Prides in their states back in the 90s, but in VA and Richmond in particular, like, we had Community Pride, which was owned by this black man. I think it might have been brothers too, and I forgot their name, but I remember the face of at least one of them. But I think it was two brothers. They actually used to like pick you up, so they had like no, I think it was they would take you back home if you was able to get to the grocery store. And that's another thing, like, I love to walk. We walked everywhere. Like, most of my childhood, like, it's like sporadic moments. Like, my childhood, my mom did not have a car. But, you know, like, I do remember, like, when my dad bought her 2 cars, I think, and they would break down and stuff. And but the car, one of my favorite cars that she had this like Chrysler, and like everybody loved that fucking car. Like, and my mom, I haven't been secretive. Like, my mom, you know, did drugs and stuff. So when she would go like to Hillside or Afton and shit, like, people would try, the drug dealers would try to like intimidate my mama, but my mama is not fit to fuck with. Like, I want to just tell anybody like who knew Miss Charlotte, like, if you knew Miss Charlotte, because that's what they used to call her, like, if you didn't know her and you tried to fuck with her, like, you was sadly mistaken. She has a mouthpiece, but she has hands too. And yeah, you in trouble if you had got that out of her back in the day. So but yeah, like, they tried to steal the car from her. My mom talks shit a lot, so like, I don't know where I can't remember everything that happened with that situation. Go ahead, B. Go ahead. Go on, get. So what I was about to say? Oh, something had transpired, and they was trying to like take her car from there because they thought like my mama was like in her 40s. She looked like she was 20. So a lot of people thought, like, you know. And then she looks innocent. Like, it's kind of the same thing with me. Like, you see the innocence and the smile, and like, you just, I guess you got to fuck around and find out. But like, yeah, they tried to throw, I think, bricks through her window and told her like she in her car, like, she better not bring her ass back down there. She, first of all, that's what I think happened. Like, she did not, he told her don't bring her ass back down there, and she came back anyway because that's who the fuck she is. And we don't like people telling us what we can and cannot do. So she did that, and she just was her. And I love who my mom used to be, period, point blank, even with the mistakes she made. My mom did get her life together, but I think she never really addressed the problems. Like, so she was one of those people who was fortunate enough that God helped her get her life back on track. And but for me, she was never like snooty, but it was like she acted like she couldn't understand when people was going through things anymore. And it's like, because you overcame it, it's like, oh, you can't remember. Like I feel like a lot of times too, she put this pressure on me to be another version of her. And it was soul sucking because I'm not her. I mean, we are a lot alike. I share a DNA, and but I'm myself, and she definitely put a lot of pressure on me to be the better version of her instead of me being the best version of myself. And I feel like a lot of times too, I had to raise myself or allow other people that enter my life to help raise me, because when she was going through her stuff, like, she literally wasn't, she was physically there, but she wasn't, there mentally. So, if you one of those kids and your parents struggle with addiction, like, I get it. Definitely, if you one of those kids and it became your responsibility to make sure your parent was okay, like, I get it. Like, that they don't never want to acknowledge that. But it's true. Like, because if you was doing that, then that meant what? I was looking after you. You weren't looking after me. And I remember, like, childhood being so fucked up for me mentally that, like, I did after school. I'd rather have been with the fucking wolves at school. Like, I hated the people at school. Y'all motherfuckers was mean. And I mean too, but, like, I never, like, tried to put my shit on the other people. Period in life. Like, I don't like putting my pain and my misery on other people. I think that's typically why I shy away from, in the past, I have shied away from being around the people that I knew was good and that I knew was decent, that I knew had my back, because I knew I had some fucking issues and I did not want to spew that on them. I spewed it on the people that I knew deserved that shit and or that I knew could handle it. So shit, it got to a point where, like, I was just like, you know what, I'd rather, be at school extra time than to be at home. And I feel like, the kids that get it. Some people did extracurricular activities because they were bored. I did them because I didn't want to go home. And a lot of people didn't even realize that shit. Like, that shit make me want to cry sometimes. Like, just realizing, like, how hurt of a little girl I was. And I can honestly tell you, like, I have grieved tremendously. Like, I have grieved tremendously, but it's like, it's now saying that shit out loud. Like, and knowing that it was true, because I used to try to bring that shit up to my parent, and she could never validate my experience, because her validating my experience meant that she saw herself as a failure as a parent, and that's not what I needed, or that's not what I meant. I just wanted her to always acknowledge that her situations that she was going through as a mother caused me great fucking pain, put me in positions and situations that caused me a great deal of trauma. And it's a weird situation with my mom, because forward facing, everybody thought, like, she was this most protective and awesome parent, but she needed help. That's one thing I can say. I came from a family of 14 aunts and uncles. Well, 13 aunts and uncles on my mom's side. On my dad's side, which, I don't even look at my father as my father. I look at him as my earthly father. Like, he's just the vessel I came through, came from. But I really, really don't feel like I share much of nothing with him. Like, I feel connected to my grandmother, my great grandmother, some cousins. But yeah, like, my favorite uncle that I had on that side, he died. Um, and I do got some like other uncles, but they like one of my uncles that was like his closest brother, like he did take up time with me when I was little, and I appreciate that. But like as I got older, like there's a disconnect there. But his kids, I love his kids, like they my siblings, like for real. Um, and I got other cousins I love, like they're my siblings, so it's not a complete loss. It's not a complete loss. Um, yeah, it's not. But anywho, to come from that big of a family and to not see nobody help my mom out. Matter of fact, she moved the fuck away from y'all. She moved the fuck away from y'all because her family had ruined her. And before she got to the point where she lost her mom, her family had ruined her. Her family had ruined her. Her family tried to destroy her. Still to this day. She's 70-something-year-old woman, and you still got motherfuckers on her line trying to destroy her. Thinking they can break her. She's just over there taking it all in. So, I just always wanted my mom to validate my experiences, that I had a rough life, because all she ever could see was that she had a rough life. She looked at my life like it was so much better than hers because I had more material things, but emotionally, I had nobody. Emotionally, I was taught not to feel nothing, and I was born a person who felt every fucking thing. And so basically, I grew up not being true to myself, and that shit hurt. It's soul sucking for real, for real. And all our experiences is for a reason, though. So through this journey, I've been learning to validate my own feelings and my own self with some assistance. I always say that, you're never doing nothing completely alone, no matter whether you have people physically around you or you believe in spirit, you believe in God, whatever you believe in, many gods, all that, like whatever you believe in, you're never alone. So I always say with assistance, I've been learning how to validate my own feelings, my own experiences, like how I see things, how I view things. I'm just proud of myself. Like the growth has been phenomenal. I feel like when I woke up this time, which I just want to put a disclaimer. Like, I've been watching this whole time. I was never missing. I was never lost. I was hiding. I was definitely hiding. What I will say is this. I saw everything. All the horrendous things that was done to me, I saw everything. It did leave me afraid to come back out and shine my light and be what God intended me to be. However, I'm forever grateful for the support I have been given. I'm forever grateful for God never giving up on me. I'm forever grateful for, Jesus, like, showing me that I could be a sinner and still be of great value. So much so, like, I wanted to follow in his footsteps. Because at the end of the day, it's always been about the people. It's always been about saving others because I know your pain, or I know traces or remnants of it. I even have learned that empathy, everybody does not have empathy. And if you find somebody who does not have the ability or the capacity to have empathy, Um, I don't know what you need to do, but I know for me, I don't want you in my space. I don't want you around me. And I don't feel bad for it whatsoever. Like, you need to kick fucking rocks quickly. You're not my project. You're not my mission. That's not going on with me no more. May you find God. May you find peace. Find it quick. Because the clock is ticking. So I definitely realized that I'm very special. I'm a very beautiful person inside and out. A lot of things and a lot of entities and, you know, whatever you want to call it. For me, I'm just learning to call it entities because I don't think it's quite like us. Like Kendrick said, they not like us. They not like us. And, you know, like, and like I said in the beginning, this ain't just for me about no skin tone. This is about that energy. That energy, you always can feel energy. Believe it. So I'm just learning that people tried to steal my light, which shines so bright in a dark ass world. And you know, I get it. You would want something for yourself, but you had your own light. Maybe you traded it in. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It's not my responsibility to know, and I don't care. I don't care anymore why. I used to try to spark, you know, other people's flames and all that stuff. But like I said in another video, like, I retired myself. Like, all I can give you is a smile. And if you are against me, all I could give you is what you try to give back to me. I am protected, and the shit that I miss, others don't. So I'm grateful for that. Like, I don't have to do this by myself. I never really was alone, except for when I made myself alone. And I did that for a reason. So, you know, I like that throughout all of this, I was able to remain humble. At most, no, I'm gonna just say that shit. Like, I was able to remain humble. Over average humbleness. As a matter of fact, I was too humble. And that's why I'm given the time to talk my shit. And it's not being cocky, it's not being arrogant. I call it confidence and truth. The truth is that I have been solid and helpful to so many people while I needed help, and no one ever lifted a hand. Not many kids that I done looked after, and I was raising my child by myself. Dante was struggling with the opiate addiction, and I was not only head of my household, but you know, trying to keep everything from collapsing. But I helped so many children. I've helped so many adults while I needed help. And there were people that tried to help me. I'm not gonna even lie. But it was almost as if I felt like I didn't deserve the help because I don't know, like, I just didn't feel worthy. I wouldn't even say I didn't feel worthy. I didn't trust that people were trying to help me because they were genuine. And it's just life experiences, watching what happened to my mom. Like, my mom got her lights cut off or water. Well, we've had situations where the lights and the water were cut off. However, my mom was a fucking G, and she grew up in a country where she didn't have, you know, lights and running water, period, as a child. And so we would light those candles. We had oil lamps. Like, I know how to use an oil lamp. What else? Like, when the water would go out, she knew the water was gonna go off, so she would fill the washing machine up with water. She would fill the tub up with water. We would use that. We would boil it. Because she never let both go off. So like if the lights was going off, you know, she would at least have the water on. But that meant we still was gonna have some cold ass like showers and shit. But if the water went off, you know, she knew too how to prepare for that. So so all right, so sorry, my bad. I had a call and I had to just think just a second about something. All right, so yeah. Thank you. So yeah, she always like, and then like for it to flush the toilet, we would go to the creek and go dip a bucket and put that water in the toilet, and the water pressure that flushes your toilet for you. So like we, even though we went, you know, through those cycles, like my mom still knew how to make shit work, and maybe we would boil water, brush our teeth, wash up. Like she always taught us like how to wash up. She always told us like, I don't care if you skip the day of washing, like change your drawers. Like change your drawers every day. But if you don't have like running water and all that shit, like just how to make that shit work. So filled up the washing machine. Like that's, she was smart. Also with like clothes, like we had washing boards. Even though we had a washing machine, like I grew up with a lot of old school techniques. So like I can wash clothes, you know, by hand, and get some shit like really, really clean if it's stained. Wash clothes by soaking them in really, really hot water in the tub. It just depends on what you washing, about which temperatures you should use and all that stuff. Things like if you're trying to get like stains out or something, like if let's say you had a white t-shirt and you had blood on it, you would want to use cold water. Most people would think you want to use hot, but you want to use cold water. You want to use, we used to have soap with lye in it to wash clothes, for spot cleaning, because we typically, you know, use the washing machine. But however, we rarely used our dryer, and I hated that because she used to hang the clothes out on the line. She loved like the smell that it would have, and I think she just loved the feel of it. But for me, like spiders always used to try to find, I don't know, spiders, why you like me so much? Because y'all scared the shit out of me as a child. But yeah, they always would be in my stuff. And so she was like, all right, well, I'm gonna let yours be out on the line, but then you could throw it in the dryer real quick just to make sure any bugs that was on it, you know, for like 5 minutes, like it would be dead. And so we compromised like that. But I did grow up with material things. However, like people thought I was like super, super spoiled, but a lot of stuff I had was hand-me-down stuff, which I'm so grateful for, period, point blank. But my mom couldn't afford a lot, like, so whatever, you know, people wanted to give, like, I took it with open arms. I I played with doll babies since probably till I was like 12 or 13. Like a lot of people don't fucking know that. Like, cause I was a tomboy, so nobody probably knew like, oh, this bitch played with Barbie dolls. Like, no. This bitch played with Barbie dolls. Like, I always loved my Barbie dolls. And I had like all kind of dolls. It wasn't just Barbie. I actually had like some African dolls that were like from this like, it was at Family Dollar, and I think it was like this Kenyan line thing, but definitely had a time playing with my Barbie dolls. It was almost like sometimes it was a Jerry Springer episode, sometimes it was like real true love, sometimes fucking Barbie was cheating on Ken, sometimes Ken was cheating on Barbie. Like a bitch played with them Barbie dolls, like had all kind of story plots flowing around. Could have been a screenwriter. Sometimes I had a doll baby. She was a black doll baby too, and representation fucking matters. Like it really fucking matters for kids. If you are not buying doll babies, period, for it don't matter what race you is. Like for my daughter, she had white, black, if you look Hispanic, whatever. Like she had a multicultural array of dolls. White people, you should do that for your kids too, because representation matters. And if you're just playing with the doll that everybody is giving you and saying this is the standard, then that psychologically messes with the child's mind and think that they're supposed to be what. Most of those dolls when they first started out were blonde haired, stupid figured. I ain't gonna say stupid figured, but it just was not realistic. And I don't know, I guess realistic for somebody, but it's not all body types, right? So it just pisses me off. You get where I'm going, right? And if you don't, then it's ain't for you. But yeah, it psychologically makes children of color feel like they are not meeting the standard of beauty. And then for white children, it makes them feel like that is the only beauty, the standard of beauty. So then when they see other kids of other, variations and stuff, they're looking like they're not beautiful. And that's where you get kids who become racist, unfortunately, or at least prejudiced or biased, at minimal. And none of it is good. So yeah. But yeah, I played with doll babies, till I was about 12 or 13. Nobody knew. I had like a trunk. And me and my brother had a trunk. So he had a trunk, I had a trunk. How many kids had a trunk as a kid with their toys in it? I don't know. Like, maybe we were, spoiled materially. But I don't even know where this stuff came from. But I definitely had a toy trunk. Like, it was a real trunk from, like, back in the day where people put their stuff in. I even remember the lining in it. It had, like, I think it did. Don't quote me, but I think it had like some like globes or something inside of it. But yeah, that's where our toys went. I had too many stuff. Like I had a addiction to like stuffed animals. Like when I talk about my mom being a hoarder, like my mom wasn't the hoarder when I was younger. Like my mom kept a clean and neat house. That I did grow up with that. Like we didn't have like dishes overflowing in the sink. Like my mom made sure the house was nice and clean. The bathrooms was clean. I did not, like my mom didn't start slacking on stuff like that until she probably like took my uncle in and to look after him. So I was the real hoarder in the house, but I wouldn't even call me a hoarder. I just liked my things, but I was disorganized. That's what I would say. Like, I was disorganized chaos. And so, like, my mom would always threaten my brother, like, if you don't pick this stuff up, I'm throw it in the trash and all that stuff. And my brother just got tired of her fussing one day and just threw his own shit in the trash. It was like, being say that though. We couldn't dare say that shit. She would have killed us. We would have been unalived. But none of it threw his own shit in the trash. Oh, he had this Cosby doll too. He was scared as a bitch of it. I was scared of it too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry. But that doll is scary. If y'all know what that Cosby doll, you should Google it. The Cosby doll. My brother trifling. That's why I always called him a house nigga. Because he painted the doll white. Like if he painted it all white, it was gonna be less scary. It's like, nigga, it is not the color that's scary. It is those eyes that scared the shit out of me. Like, his nose is fat. They did just make that dog. I mean, I think we could have did a better job. That dog was scary. And funny story about this is my brother threw the dog in the trash. This was before I was alive, but they always told the story. And my brother threw the doll in the trash. She spent all her hard-earned money. This was before I was in the picture. And yeah, my mom had 4 kids, but we was all spaced out. So my brother was like the only child during that time that was like young. And so he had threw the doll in the trash, and she came home and saying that she had spent all her money to get that doll for his birthday. And she had came home and seen the doll in the trash, and this heifer took the doll out the trash and put it back in the house. So my brother fucking panicked. He thought the doll had came out the trash can. That shit is funny to me. Oh man, we got some, like, we had a lot of different experiences. Even though it was a lot of pain, we had a lot of different experiences. That's why my mother at my core, I love her. However, I'm not tolerating abuse from nobody no more. So whatever's, in there, I definitely feel like she has turned into a narcissist, and she's just a vessel that goes in and out, and other shit flows through her, and I'm aware. So I found my peace. My peace is within. So anywhere I go, I'm at peace. And even when my peace is disturbed, Houston, we have a problem. And I'm not the one that have a problem. Whoever disturbs the peace gonna have a problem. And we ain't talking about like no little minor altercations or disagreements or mistakes. We talk about people who literally are trying to pull me down, and vice versa for just anybody that's a good person, that's protected, and that you have been vetted by God. Don't worry about these entities. You protected. Do you, and they'll be sorry. But today I just went and let shit flow today like I used to. I think I'm at like an hour and some change. I don't really know who even still watches these things, but I do have faith that they'll find whoever they need to find one day. And I do think I want to tell the story about when I stared my life down that little hole. I kind of saw my life flash before my eyes. It was an interesting situation. And just tell how things are now, because I held a grudge for a very long time. But I'm happy that weight is off for me. I'm happy that weight is off for her. And I'm happy that weight is on who it need to be on. Period, point blank. So I'm gonna end this video. I'm a little hungry. And I used to ain't like eating from people on camera, but fuck it. I'm human. I smack. It gets on my daughter's fucking nerves. She don't even like what I chew with my mouth closed, so you know what I do? I chew it open. She said I'm a loud chewer. That's my mouth closed. Leave me the fuck alone. But any nigga that pick me, no, I'm picking. I'm doing the picking. I'm not a pick me. I'm the chooser. That's what Derwin said. Even though Derwin does not deserve all that credit for his work, he definitely had. What he had? He had a black man with him on that journey. And without that black man, he wouldn't have been able to know the shit he knew. So when they speak of Charles Darwin, they need to speak of the black man. And it's sad because I forgot the black man name. But I remember the black man. Credit is going to be restored to all those who deserve credit. But yeah. Kudos to Mother Earth today. To the sun. To the birds, to the wind, to the trees. It's beautiful. But alright, I'm gone. I'm gonna do this video.
on